I spoke about Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in this place. I condemn all agitators, but in condemning them, you have to look at what brought about these agitations all over the place. It's not only IPOB. We have Yoruba Nation movement. We have all sorts.
Obi is a Biafra sympathizer. If Peter Obi has any opportunity in this country, he will divide this country. And politically, we disagree with him. We have no any negotiation with Peter Obi. Whenever you go to the core north, Michel Obi is more popular than Peter Obi. Even when Peter Obi was a governor of Anambra, you know, he sent the northerners out of Anambra. So are you expecting us to come and support these people? When it comes to pure politics, I don't think there is any candidate except
we divide Nigeria, that you do not have what it takes to unite Nigeria. How do you react to such a statement?
So that's directly opposite of what I would do. How will you unite Nigeria? And I know what it takes to unite Nigeria.
And what will that be?
Sheriff.
Alimadu Sheriff.
Alimadu Sheriff said, if you look at my record, what he said is opposite. At the onset, while he was still governor, I was there at the onset of this Boko Haram issue. His own brother was killed. So I traveled to Borno State to condole him. When these people don't want to go there, I went to Borno State. It's on record. So they've been flooding in Borno State. I went there, contributed about 50 million naira, visited the governor, visited the show of Borno, I visited IDP camp in Borno. I've been to most troubled part of the north. Be it Katsina, Kebbi. I've been to Plateau up to 4 times, visiting the various affected communities on the screen and everything. Spend time in IDP camp, help even communities affected to rebuild their schools for their children. Went to the IDP camps, supported them. I've done that in Benue. I spent Christmas, New Year in IDP camps. So I built boreholes in Gombe, in Kaduna, in every part of the north. When the University of Sokoto said, the University of Sokoto Agricultural Faculty said, all they need is borehole for their farm. I did it. And I visited schools in Sokoto, even when Tamuwa was governor. I can go on and on. I've done the same thing in the southwest, been to schools, in Kogi, schools of nursing, and visited hospitals all over Nigeria. So there's no politician today in Nigeria who have been able to travel places I've been by road, from Kafanchan to Katsina to Maiduguri to everywhere. I've traveled all over the place by road. Because I want the country to be together.
And you understand that?
And I'm experiencing it. So for him to, what he's saying is direct opposites of what I'll do. And I'll just show you an example. By going to all these places. How many places have other people gone? Have you ever seen people in government today, even today, saying we're going to visit this place because of this and everything? Even in the recent Oyo, I visited the governor. Go ask governors of other places, whether it's for anything. Whenever there's issue, I call them. And I try to visit them. Whenever there's fire in Kano, in everything, I will go there.
Mr. Obi, don't you think that this is probably not about Peter Obi? Because any person that understands the Nigerian history from the Civil War to the post-Civil War would think, I imagine, that we have not totally healed. And there's a segment of this country that have not been fully integrated in terms of the politics of this country. Whether or not an Igbo man can become president of Nigeria, do you think that we have moved away from the Civil War syndrome and we have totally healed such that an Igbo man like Peter Obi from Anambra State, an Onitsha man, will one day become Nigeria's president?
That is the beginning of that is the foundation of the healing. And that is where you start to build momentum in Nigeria.
And
That would be that is the beginning. So a P2P presidency will commence the healing and the unity that is required to stabilize and build a better Nigeria. As I said, a new Nigeria is possible.
How do we?
But everybody will be inclusive.
How do we deal with the Kaduna Isiogu tax coup? Because that seems to have been a major wound that a lot of Nigerians don't think that they can trust an Igbo man to become
At
president.
every particular point in time, know that you cannot be trapped in the process of yesterday. Those who are trapped in the process of yesterday must live the future. There must be a time to know that we are the same. We must come together. Yes, we have a history, but we must not be trapped in it. It must not deprive us tomorrow. Those who are trapped in the process of yesterday today will miss tomorrow. I want to drive this country to tomorrow. I want the child of Nigeria to be able to grow up in Nigeria, go to school, live his life without thinking about his pride, without thinking about yesterday, without thinking about his religion, but as a Nigerian and be proud of it. And we're going to do that. That is exactly what I am offering the people. I will never divide Nigeria. I will unite Nigeria. I will show love to every part of Nigeria and make sure things are done differently because I'm going to involve everybody.
I'd like to look into this camera, Mr. Obi, because every northerner that is watching through that lens tonight, we wonder whether or not they can trust an Igbo man. What would you say to them tonight that you, Peter Obi, can be trusted to become Nigeria's president and the lives, the destiny and the politics of the northern man is safe in your hands?
Sure, I'll change the north. I have an idea what is happening in the north. And nobody can drive that process today in Nigeria that I'm seeing in the politics better than me. I will work with them and I'll ensure that that unity, that security, that prosperity they desire, I will commence it. And I'll show it. Shall I work closely with people in the north? I have an idea what is happening in the north. I have an idea that is going to have massive poverty that needs to deal with. I have an idea to deal with the issue of education and health properly, not listen, and I'll deal with it decisively.
If you look at it, there are those who say we have not healed. The generation of those who are 30-year-old today, who are 20-year-old today, who do not know the pains of the 1966 and 1970. Do you? I mean, they had a moment of reconciliation where they had a committee for reconciliation. Do you think that we need a moment of sitting down as a people to reconcile and think about what happened in the Civil War and move forward?
So we need to have, I said before, repeat. My presidency will heal and unite Nigeria.
That's what you stand for. Are you going to set up a committee or you are going to...
No, it's not going to so that the actions of the presidency will show what we're going to do.
Tell me about what Alimodu also said about northern tax. And you have been accused of labeling northerners. How do you respond to that?
Sure, that's the line. It's never happened. Sure, Sharif's ABC is on the north. Most governors choose their ABC, who is the closest person from them, from their own. My ABC is from Kaduna. And is a Muslim. ABC was a Muslim. Still a Muslim. So how can you have a Muslim as closest person to you you're giving these people time. All the commissioners that served me in 8 years I was in office were Muslims. We're not actually the Muslims, are from the north. So how did I give them tax? People from the north. So before I became governor, my closest or my 2 closest staff from the bank were from Kano. All the people I have, even military friends, were all from the north. So before I became president, I've always paid for at least, maybe even because at least a Muslim every year to go to Hajj, every year, and I have records of them. As governor, I was paying for Christians to go for pilgrimage. I was paying for Muslims in Anambra to go to Hajj. They are there. I'm sure while he was governor in Borno State, he never paid for any Christian to go to pilgrimage. I was paying for Muslims to go to pilgrimage. So how can I be giving them back? And I can go on and on and show you what I'm doing now privately on my own, going to do more. As I speak to you, I'm supporting 4 Almajiri schools in Kaduna, in Bauchi, and this I'm supporting School of Nursing in Bauchi, in Kaduna, the Muslim school, and I can go on and on. So you see, people, these are things they've done in the past to keep Nigeria divided.
Well, are there things that you have done in the past that you regret about the optics and how you were profiled, and you thought that maybe it's something that you need to change, that you have done wrongly, to make you look like you are ethnic jingoist?
That's what I'm saying. This is the way they do. Instead of us discussing the problem of the country, people come before you to discuss P2B. That's not the issue. Check World Bank has just said that 79% of Nigerians are going to face poverty. In a country of 230 million people, that's over 180 million. That should be the issue we should be discussing.
When they are mentioning,
they should be talking about the issue of out of school children, talking about the issue of health, and all this money that are missing here and there that would have been invested properly. Nobody is discussing it.
You heard what Mr. Peter Obi said. He's asking President Tinubu to resign or step aside. Do you think that's just reasonable to do, considering that President Tinubu at the time was also asking Goodluck Jonathan to step aside?
You know, Sean, Peter Obi is the most unqualified person to make such a statement.
Really?
Yes.
As an opposition figure?
Not only that, I want to take you back. This country, Nigeria, today fought a civil war. Our leaders in this country sacrificed their life to fight a civil war to keep the country one. Both leaders from the north and the south. The cause of this war was demand by then Nnamdi, by then Ojukwu, to succeed the country. Peter Obi, up to this moment, he is pursuing division of Nigeria.
How?
Because,
is that right? I mean,
because
what evidence do you have to say that?
He believes in Biafra. He never condemned Biafra. He never condemned IPOD.
Is Biafra a bad thing?
Biafra is secession. Our country leaders fought to keep the country together. He wants to divide Nigeria.
How will someone who wants to be president of Nigeria thinking of dividing Nigeria? What is that your assertion?
He should deny. He should come out to this station and say he doesn't believe in division of the country. He should deny. I am confronting him, telling him this is what he stood for. And Nigeria in 2026, today, we have gone past that long time ago. Because our leaders today, Nigerian leaders, a lot of them are having bullet wounds in their body. People like Obasanjo, General Yakubu Gawan, T.Y. Danjuma, late General Shua, late General Abacha, all of them have a bullet wound in their body in order for Nigeria to be together. Anybody aspiring to lead Nigeria must be someone who stands for Nigeria, not for any section.
So because Peter Obi is an opposition to Bola Tinubu,
no. There are lots of people that are in opposition to Bola Tinubu. A lot of people are wanted to be president. I never accused them of such. But he never condemned. Up to today, in eastern Nigeria, those that wanted to divide the country are calling for seat